Hello and welcome to this ninth episode of this webinar series on global crisis, global risk, and global consequences. My name is Marc Rickli, and I'm the head of Global Risk and Resilience at the Geneva Center for Security Policy, GCSP, an international nonprofit foundation physically based in Geneva, Switzerland, comprised of 52 states in its foundation council, of which all the permanent member of the UN Security Council. The GCSP mission is to promote international peace and security, to prepare and transform individuals and organizations so they can create a safer world. We are impartial, independent, and inclusive. The center does this different mandate through parallel tracks, through executive education, research, public discussion, as well as innovative fellowship program for executive in transition. Our community has grown substantially since a few years, and now we are more than 8,200 influential alumni all over the world in 165 countries. When we started this webinar series 9 weeks ago, coronavirus was approaching 1 million infection and had killed about 48,000 people. This week, more than 5.7 million people has been infected, so 5.7 times more than 9 weeks ago, and more than 356,000 people have passed away worldwide, which is more than 7.4 times what it was 9 weeks ago, of which 100,000 are located in the United States. Today's topic is very important for Geneva, but beyond that, for global politics. It's about the impact this crisis have on International Geneva and multilateralism. To discuss these issues, we gathered a very distinguished panel of practitioners and theorians of this issue. We'll start by my colleague, Stefan David-Soffer. He's the acting director of the Leadership in International Security course, LISC, at the GCSP. And he will talk about the sociology of multilateralism and NGOs. Then we have Dr. Beatrice Ferrari. She's Director of International Affairs at the Canton of Geneva. And she will address us about how to rethink hybrid formats that will enable international meeting to keep taking place in Geneva. Then we'll have Mr. Alexander Munafo. He is Director of Strategic Partnership and Communication at Interpeace, an international organization that prevents violence and builds lasting peace, headquartered in Geneva. He will talk about soft governance and the role of public-private partnership. Then we'll have Her Excellency Ambassador Socorro Flores. She is a permanent representative of Mexico to the United Nations Office and other international organizations in Geneva since 2017. And she will share with us her perspective of a practitioner of International Geneva. And last but not least, Mr. Stéphane Bussard. He's a journalist at a Swiss newspaper, Le Temps, based in Geneva. He will share an insight about how it is to report about International Geneva, but also the impact of this crisis on multilateralism. New York, where the UN is headquartered, and Geneva are the two world's main center of multilateral diplomacy. The city of Geneva itself is host to 38 international organizations, 179 states are represented in this organization or are working from Geneva. About 420 non-governmental organizations are located in Geneva, and together this brings about 34,000 international civil servants, diplomats, representatives of the civil society. Geneva is the most active center of global governance, with over 3,000 meetings annually, so more than 8 meetings a day, bringing together more than 200,000 people in Geneva from all over the world, and of which 4,400 are prominent figures such as heads of states and governments, ministers, and other dignitaries from different governments. International Geneva is a recognized center of expertise in the following areas: peace, security, and disarmament, humanitarian action and humanitarian law, human rights and migration, labor, economics, trade, science and telecommunication, health, the environment, and sustainable development. With the spread of the coronavirus crisis, meetings and reunions have been cancelled since mid-March in Geneva. Yesterday, the Swiss government announced that from June 6, meetings of up to 300 persons will be able to resume. This should bring some relief and bring International Geneva back to normalcy. However, the fact that almost all multilateral physical activities were stopped during this period will have probably a lasting impact on the way International Geneva functions. Therefore, the first impact that we'll talk about is the impact at the operational level. How does this crisis change the way diplomats are interacting? Beyond this operational issue, there are also issues that are more strategic, that have to do with multilateralism. The COVID-19 crisis has crystallized tension between the United States and China. For instance, on March 23rd, the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, called for a global ceasefire. Yet so far, no agreement in the Security Council have been found to formalize a resolution because China and the United States cannot agree on the reference to the World Health Organization in the resolution. The World Health Organization, located in Geneva, has indeed proved a new battleground for the Chinese-American rivalry, with President Trump now threatening to permanently cut US funding and reconsider US membership because he accused the WHO of repeated missteps during the coronavirus pandemics and demand that WHO demonstrate independence from China. The United States is the biggest single donor of WHO, contributing more than 15% of WHO budget annually, 400 million. The second largest funder is, interestingly, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who provides 9.8% of the fund.